Inner lights, peace. Jesus never existed. Jesus never existed. He's just a mythological creature. You see, most of the people that religions speak about never existed. Most of the old mythologies, ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, Rome, the deities that were created, right? They never existed. In ancient Egypt, the deities that were created, they were created as a way for people to understand the nature of reality. For if you want to know how humans came to existence, how our reality works, how things work in our reality, what do? People created stories. So people started to make stories to kind of explain how things were made. Just like in African spirituality and African stories, the ladies, the mothers, the grandmothers will tell stories to the children, right, to try to preserve ancient cultures. But in those days, they created these stories as a way for you to understand the nature of reality. So people will come up as stories and they will make characters like the moon, the sun, the earth, the air, and all these sort of creatures, right? All these characters represented elements of reality, right? And they were made as deities, as gods. But you see, in the ancient world, they didn't worship these gods. They just used these gods as a way to understand things, how things work. So when you look at the skies today, the moon, right? The moon, they say the moon affects the tides of the water, the tides in the water, when it's a full moon. So as the moon affects the earth, so do the stars, so do the planets, so does the sun. If we were to wipe out the sun today, everything on earth would die. Everybody will die. Because we need the sun to live. So they were made as deities, right? And the ones that actually knew the truth, they knew that the sun wasn't a god. They knew that the moon wasn't a god. They knew that the water was not a god, that the earth was not a god. But as a way for people to understand, in the stories, they were made as gods. So the ancient Egyptians, they had respect for the sun because they knew that the sun was the giver of all life. And again, if you were to remove the sun, we will all die. Everything will die. All the plants, all the animals, everything will die. Why is religion any different? When we bring up Christianity, when we bring up Islam, when we bring up Judaism, any sort of religions, right? We say that these religions were true, that these people were true, that Jesus was real. That's what people say. But when you look at the Roman records, you can't find Jesus anywhere. We can find Pontius Pilate, the guy that apparently sentenced Jesus to be crucified. We can find him because the Romans kept really good records, right? But why can't you find Jesus anywhere outside of the Bible? Why? You know, if something is real, right, or a major event happened, the whole world will be talking about it. Just say somebody dying and resurrecting, right? Wouldn't you think more people would be talking about it if it was true? Wouldn't you think so? But it's only mentioned in the Bible. I need to break this to you, inner lights. He never existed. never existed. It's just another mythological story, like all the other mythological stories in ancient Greece, in ancient Egypt. They were all stories. Those gods never existed. But it's the same with the Bible. You see, Jesus is just a character, and a character that is filled and coated with symbols, right? And if you were to understand, right, the old symbols, the old stories, the old myths of the times past, right, in ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, if you were to know these mythological stories, it would help you to understand the Bible more, because the Bible is a coded book talking about the stars, talking about the sun. Jesus, when you read about Jesus in the Bible, Jesus represents the sun. The 12 disciples represent the 12 zodiac signs. The planet Saturn represents Satan. You see, these are codes that are hidden within the Bible. And if you are a religious person, if you are a closed-minded person, you're going to read one book and base your whole life over one book. That's like me living in one city, one town, right? One state my whole life, never leaving that place. Staying there my whole life, thinking that I know everything about the whole world. Without traveling, without leaving my country, without leaving my city, without leaving my town, without leaving my neighborhood, right? It would be crazy, right, for me to think that I know everything about the whole world if I never left my hometown. But why do people do that with knowledge? Why do people do that with religion? You see, I can read the Bible and then I would say everyone else is wrong and I'm right just from reading one book. That's the same thing. See, you can read the Quran and then you say everyone else is wrong and you are right, but you're only reading one book. The only way you will have an argument is if you read all the books, if you read all the religious books, if you read all the books you can get your hand on, then you will have an argument, because you have all this different information, right? You've traveled to all these different countries, you've seen the world, so you have a right to speak about the world, for you have seen it, right? But you have a lot of people that will condemn you to hell, right? And these people don't even know that hell is a real place. They just believe. It's not something they know. But they will try to impose it on you, and they'll try to force you to follow a lifestyle that they think is right, that they don't have any evidence for. Inner lights. You need to start reading all different books. Read them all. Read the Bible, read the Quran, read the Bhagavad Gita, read the Torah. Read all these books. Learn about the ancient mythologies. Learn about the Greek mythologies. Learn about the Egyptian mythologies. Learn about numerology. Learn about astrology. Learn about the zodiacs. These are the sciences that the ancients followed. And for you to understand these books, you have to look at all these information, right? For you to make sense of it all. Because it's heavily coded. Heavily coded. So I don't want to hear anybody coming for me. I don't want to hear anyone coming, right, for what I have to say, unless you have information. If you don't have any information, if you don't have proof, then you have nothing to say to me. Unless you have the proof. Because truth, right? If you are a seeker of the truth, you have to have the truth. You can't be afraid when the truth is presented to you and it goes against your beliefs. For those who want to know the truth, study these sciences. You're going to see that the Bible especially, right, is coded with so much so much hidden codes, man. So much. And the problem is, you guys, the religious people, you think it's evil. You think it's evil for you to study numerology. You think it's evil for you to study astrology. You think it's evil. You think these things are evil. You think that is divination. You think that is witchcraft. You think that you shouldn't even mess with any of this. But the truth is, for you to know the truth, even about the Bible, for you to know the stories about the Bible, you need to know about all these things. The Bible will put animals, right? Will speak about animals, certain animals. And these animals have links to astrology. The Bible will have certain numbers, will speak about certain numbers. 3, 9, 33, 40, 7, 12, all these repeated numbers. And for you, that's just a number. That means nothing. But for those who know about numerology, you know what these numbers mean. You know that numbers is a language from the universe. Numbers is not good or evil. Numbers is a science. Numbers is the language of God, they say. For this whole universe is coded with numbers. This whole universe is coded with geometrical shapes, sacred geometry. The Bible has all this, but some of you don't know what the heck I'm talking about. And that's why you think I'm a false prophet, for you don't know what I'm talking about. All you've done is just read one book and you want to judge me. But you don't know the truth, my friend. I'm here to awaken you to the truth. I'm here to show you the truth. This is the age of Aquarius, where the truth needs to be revealed. Where we can no longer live in lies anymore. Where the lies can no longer reign supreme. So you need to know the truth. And the truth will set you free. You know, it hurts to know that everything you believed in is a lie. It's tough. I've been through it too. I know many people who've been through it. That they lost the anchor that was holding on to their life. Why? Because it was built on lies. And if you are a person of truth, you cannot rest until you find the truth. If you are a seeker of truth, you are not a defender of your beliefs. You are not a defender of religion. You are a seeker of truth. If you are a seeker of truth, you are willing to let go of your beliefs for the sake of the truth. It's like Paul in the Bible, right? And this is a story. This was not a real thing. These people, a lot of them did not exist. You see? But even in the story of Paul was doing the wrong thing, killing certain people, right? He was doing the wrong thing. And once he found the truth, he let go of everything. Everything. In order for him to follow the truth. And that is an analogy, right? For the story, it is just a story. It is not a real thing. That is what you have to do. Once you find the truth, let go of the lies. Let go of the beliefs that have been suppressing you. Religion, even though religion has good in it, yes, religion has some good parts of it. Religion has teachings that will teach you not to hurt other people, that will keep two people, right, that are married together. It has certain laws in place that will help you better your life. But we cannot overlook the negative things that religion causes. Religion causes fear. Religion causes doubt. Religion makes you believe that you are right and everyone else is wrong. Religion puts you in a box, right, in your consciousness, where you cannot think outside of the box. Why? Because the Christian cross is a box. If you fold the Christian cross, it turns into a box. The same with the Muslims. They bow down to Mecca, right? The Kaaba, which is a black box. You see the Jews when they pray in the Wailing Wall and they have the Teflon. They got the Teflon in their head, right? And then they pray in the Wailing Wall. They pray in the Wailing Wall. And it's got a black box. What is this black box? That is a whole nother video, my friend. That is a whole nother video. But if you guys knew that the one that you are worshiping is not really your God, that you are worshiping Satan, which is Saturn, that's a whole nother story that I will make a video about if you guys want that. But you see, you guys are stuck in a box. For what does that box create? It creates a hex. It's a hex. It's like a hexagon, right? In the top of Saturn, the planet Saturn, which is the 6th planet away from the sun, 6, Satan, Saturn. 6 is not a bad number, but the Bible uses the number 6 as a bad number, but it is a good number. 6 also means love, but in Christianity, the number 666 is evil. It's because Saturn is the 6th planet away from the sun. And the 666 is the number of man. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. That's the number of man, right? But the Bible twisted it and said that this is an evil number. Saturn, on top of Saturn, there's a hexagon. There is a hexagon. That if you use geometrical shapes, yes, you can change that into a square, right? You can change it into a square. If you know about geometrical shapes, there is a way to turn it into a square, right? And this is what these religious people are worshiping. The cross folded up is a square. It's even where the Muslims, when they face Mecca, when they walk around, right? When they walk around the Kaaba, right? They look like that hexagon on top of Saturn moving around. That's what they look like. And if they knew that they are under a spell, for that hexagon has created a hex for their consciousness, for they believe God is somewhere outside of them, far away, beyond space, beyond time. But that is a lie, my friend. God is within you. My inner lights, it's time for you to wake up. Study all the religions. Read the Bible, read the Quran, read the Torah, Bhagavad Gita, all the holy books. Whatever you feel drawn to, read them. Learn about astrology, learn about numerology. Don't let these people, ignorant people, for they don't know the truth. They lack the truth. Don't let them scare you into abandoning the truth, your search for truth. Don't let them scare you. For they will scare you with Jesus. They will scare you with Allah. They will scare you with hellfire. They will try to scare you with their own experiences. They want you to have the same experiences as them. But no, you are different. You are here to awaken others. So you need to know the truth. You need to learn all these holy books. For once you learn, the truth will set you free, my friend. My inner lights, like, share, and subscribe. And if you want any mentorship, my email is in the description. If you want to book a session, if you want to ask any questions, just hit my email up. And guys, remember, Never, ever, ever, ever forget this. That you were born for greatness. Okay? Peace.